might be the best Way Awades yet. Today we're reviewing the Way Awade All City 13s, which is the newest release from Way Awade. And these babies are actually like an upgraded version of the All City 13s, which is already one of my favorite shoes of the last year. But fun fact, the All City 13s and the All City 13 Encores share the same original retail price of 149 bucks. But if you want these babies, use code STASH2PER at checkout to get them to 139 bucks. 10 bucks off. But enough yapping, let's get on to the review. First off, we always yap traction. The All City 13 Encores feature a very unique traction pattern that's made up of herringbone pattern within these little rectangular pods. That's only in the forefoot though. In the heel, it's almost this like hydro dipped funky pattern. Really unique and really cool. And if you guys have watched my review on the All City 13s, the original ones, or you just have seen the All City 13 traction pattern, you will actually realize that they're actually really similar. The only big difference is in the heel. You'll see that in the heel on these ones, it's just these horizontal stripes, whereas with this, like I said, it's that funky hydro dipped pattern, which if I'm being completely honest, I do like this a lot more. I feel like there's more surface area and more to catch on, whereas with this, not nearly as much. But with that being said, this is in the heel, and to be honest, I'm not striking with my heel too much, so an upgrade, but really not that big of an upgrade. And then the materials that make up the outsole on the All City 13 Encores is the same, I believe, as the original All City 13s, which is their tough RB technology from Way Awade. Big highlight of this material is it has a long history of working really well, and they claim it's up to 3 times as durable as traditional rubber, which in my opinion is a huge plus. I mean, the shoe's essentially lasting 3 times as long, huge W. So with the really durable materials and the deep grooves, I'd say that the All City 13 Encores are one of the best outdoor hoop shoes on the market right now. I mean, me personally, I have over 200 hoop shoes, and the shoes that I use outdoors because they work so well is the All City 13s. Now this is the original model, but again, these are the upgraded versions, so they're only better. I've been abusing these outside for a while now, and you can see they're just starting to wear down. Really durable, perform really well outdoors, and again, it's probably my #1 recommendation for outdoor hoop shoes right now. But now that we've clarified that and showcased how well these are outdoors, let's do a quick traction test and then actually talk about the traction performance, which is what you guys really want to see. As you can see from the traction test, the traction on the All City 13 Encores are just absurd. Nowadays, I feel like most hoop shoes have fairly good traction, but with these, I go as far as saying they're S tier. Barely any slippage, picked up dust like any other hoop shoe would, but again, a simple wipe, it's all gone. Essentially no slipping out, performed really good laterally, going frontwards, backwards, any direction. Long story short, it's really good. And to be honest, that's what I expected. The All City 13s has amazing performance. And like I said, one of my favorite shoes of the year. They had amazing traction. So the upgraded version, I expected nothing but the best from, and that's what I got. Especially with the tough RB materials and the outsole. It's one of my favorite traction materials on the market. It has a long history of working really well from my personal experience. So when I discovered that the tough RB was on this, I essentially knew it was gonna be cracked off rip. So I'm yapping, I'm glazing. I'll give these babies a 9.8 out of 10, damn near perfect traction setup. And now onto some more glazing. We're gonna go onto the cushion, which the All City 13 Encores absolutely knock it out of the park. This baby essentially has a dual foam cushion setup made up of their boom cushion technology, which is one of the best cushion technologies on the market, but embedded in between them is what they call a propulsion plate. And for those who don't know, brief summary of their boom cushion technology. It's Way Awade's proprietary cushion technology. It's similar to that of Nike React, Adidas Boost, and other foam cushion technologies on the market. But one thing, I prefer this over any other foam cushion technology on the market. That's how much I love it. Extremely bouncy, impact protection is insane. And again, overall, my favorite cushion setup on the market. And not only does it have just the full length boom, which is already, like I said, one of my favorites, it has that propulsion plate embedded within it. So it's essentially like a Victory insole built into the midsole. Extremely beneficial. It helps with support, but also makes it a little bit bouncier. But not only does it have the full length boom plus the embedded propulsion plate, it also on top of that has an insole made up of their supercritical foam. And while that might sound like a lot and like you might be high off the ground, you're actually not. You're actually rather close to the ground. It's just a really stacked and condensed setup. To be just completely honest, felt bouncy. Impact protection was absolutely absurd. Felt comfortable, still provided a good amount of court feel. Overall, I'm glazing the life out of it, 9.5 out of 10. And now onto support, like most hoop shoes do nowadays, or literally every single hoop shoe nowadays. These babies feature a plethora of technology for their support and lockdown. So we'll go one by one and break each individual part down, at least the big ones. First is Way Awade's Pro Bar Lock support plate. This is essentially a midfoot stabilizer which is embedded in the midsole. This helps with torsional resistance whilst not restricting the flexibility or mobility of your foot. Next up is their new solid system. This new adjustable tech includes a Velcro strap over over the forefoot and arch that allows tightening and loosening to result in a more personalized feel. This helps improve lockdown and reduce slippage inside of the shoe, as you can see right there. And those are the two real big pieces of technology in the shoe that really help with support and lockdown, but we'll talk about some of the other ones now. To briefly summarize, like most shoes, they do feature a heel counter in the back, helps with heel slippage and overall lockdown. And then they also feature some TPU on the side, like most hoop shoes do, to help with lateral containment and just lateral support in general. And then another aspect that I'm actually a huge fan of that's not only beneficial for support, but also your long-term foot health is the wide forefoot. Now, this is actually something that Weiwei's been doing more and more as of recently, and I think it is absolutely revolutionary. Too often, not only in basketball shoes, but shoes in general, you will see the forefoot be rather narrow, which is just something like every brand does nowadays. And it's actually really bad for your foot health. Not only is it bad for stabilization and performance, but it's also not nearly as good for your foot's health. Long story short, if it crams your toes, reduces your forefoot width, not so hot. Do your research, but that's all I know. So with all that into account, support's absolutely phenomenal. I really like the addition of the strap in the forefoot. I do think it's a slight upgrade from the All City 13s, the original model. So I'm a fan. I'll give the support a 9.5 out of 10. Now onto the materials. We'll briefly recap. The outsole is made up of that tough RB technology, which is perfect for indoor use, perfect for outdoor use. Like I said, my outdoor hoop shoes right now are the All City 13s, not the Encore version because they weren't out yet, but the All City 13s. S tier materials, absolutely love them. But now onto the upper. The upper is made up of a combo of high quality materials. First, the upper is made up primarily of this extremely lightweight textile knit material with synthetic overlays on top of that. And then they also feature some fused overlays to increase durability in high wear areas. And then on top of this, something that I think is really, really cool, it's a variety of materials in this shoe. As you can tell, they increase ventilation with this extremely lightweight material right here. And then they also have a little detail right here, right at the arch of the foot. You see right there? That's not that normal textile. That's that extra lightweight joint. So these are essentially ventilation points to help it be extremely breathable. Reminds me a lot of the All City 12 Encores, which were one of my favorite shoes of last year. So in other words,
W's in the shot.
So I think the shoe is made up of a beautiful combo of high quality materials, absolutely amazing. Like I said, really durable outsole, lightweight, amazing, high quality upper. But there are only like two additional comments I want to make. First off, I'm an individual that has some insane toe drag. In my men's league, I get called for it all the time for dragging my toes. Not only is it bad for gameplay, but it's also bad for shoe durability. And one thing I did notice, I've been using the life out of these because I've been loving them so much. And I noticed in the toe, there's starting to be some fraying right on the tip of the toe box. And that's that fused overlay really getting to work and increasing the shoe's durability, but it's also just slightly unappealing to the eye. So that's the only gripe that I have really. And then one additional comment that I would make is if you're gonna use these outside, the outsole I think would be completely fine, but the only thing I might be concerned about is the upper is so much more lightweight than the All City 13 originals that I almost feel as if the All City 13 originals would be a better outdoor hoop shoe and these would be a better indoor hoop shoe, simply due to the fact that the upper's a little bit thicker. But with that being said, I think these would still be better than 95% of hoop shoes outdoors, but I think those might be the GOAT of outdoor hoop shoes at the moment. So I'll give these babies in regards to materials a 9.6. So before we finish off the review, let's talk real quick about the fit, the weight, and sneaker comparisons. As for fit, I would say these babies fit 100% true to size, and they're actually wide foot friendly. That wide forefoot's absolutely amazing, and even if you don't have a wide forefoot, it just feels better than most hoop shoes do. It's not too much room because you got this little strap if you want to tighten it up a little bit, but absolutely amazing. As for weight, I give these babies about an 8 out of 10 on the weight scale. I think they're extremely lightweight, especially with the new addition of the lightweight upper compared to the All City 13 originals. Is it the most lightweight hoop shoe on the market? No, but it's definitely up there. And then as for comparisons, I would say they're really similar to that of the All City 13s. No shit, because it's All City 13s and essentially the upgraded version in the Encores. But I'd also say they remind me a lot, again, surprise, surprise, of the All City 12 Encores. Those were extremely lightweight, one of my favorite basketball shoes from last year. And these babies are extremely similar in being insanely lightweight and insanely good performers. But now that we got that out of the way, the All City 13s will go down as probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite basketball shoe from the year 2025. Being an upgraded version of one of my favorite hoop shoes already in the All City 13s, I had high expectations and these babies actually exceeded them. So overall, I'll give them a 9.6 out of 10. And if you want to get a pair, again, don't forget about code STASHTOOPER to get them 10 bucks off. And if you're interested in more STASHTOOPER, please subscribe to the channel, #1, and then check out that video. Really appreciate the support, and I hope you all have a good one.